Folks, our next student-led business comes from Leesburg, Virginia, the Academy of Engineering and Technology. Grow Greenly, a biodegradable planter that naturally fertilizes plants through its organic components. Grow Greenly aims to eliminate plastic pollution and the need to use harmful chemical fertilizers that end up polluting the environment.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, but I never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a peace of mind. Seeking to find I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride. And I'm straight, I'm on my way, get up my way. I'm running late, what can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria, trudging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring us. Got 20,000 deep up in the street like we some warriors. My mom.
So, ever since I was a little girl, gardening has been something that my family and I have always loved doing together. Last spring, we had a day of gardening, where all we really did was go out and plant plants. We started by going to the store and purchasing our plants. We removed them from the plastic encasing and potted them directly into the ground, added some chemical fertilizer, and tossed those plastic pots to the side. Now that sounds simple, but by the end of the day, I was shocked to see how much plastic had accumulated in my trash can. I was shocked to later understand that 91% of plastic isn't even recycled. And that was one family. That was my family on one day that decided to have a day of gardening. But what happens when there's 50 families or 100 families? The amount of plastic waste is limitless. And that's when we realized that something needed to change. Introducing our Grow Greenly biodegradable plant pots. Hi, I'm Pranavi. This is Isreen, Vrishti, and Grace, and we are Grow Greenly. So a main problem that we see in our community today is that when gardeners go to the store to purchase their plants, they come in these plastic pots. Now typically after removing the plant from the pot, that plastic pot will just end up in the trash can and contribute to the growing amount of plastic found in landfills. Today there's nearly 6.3 billion tons of plastic found in landfills. And as that plastic builds up, it contributes to the release of a harmful greenhouse gas known as methane, which has been linked to climate change. Additionally, because the pot is constricting the plant, there's a phenomenon known as plant shock that occurs. Plant shock is essentially when the roots of the plant are caught up in all of that plastic. And once that plastic is removed, the strength of the roots decreases over time. Currently, 70% of gardeners use chemical fertilizers to supply nutrients to their plants. However, after precipitation occurs, this chemical fertilizer pollutes local water sources through excess runoff. And finally, after interviewing with several household gardeners, we found that it was difficult for them to meet their work-life balance and also have time to maintain the health of their plants. So that's when we come in. Introducing our Grow Greenly biodegradable plant pots. Our plant pots are comprised of leaf-based compost and recycled water pellets. These water pellets are sourced from a local water treatment plant in Leesburg, Virginia. They are made up of the nutrients that are filtered out of our drinking water, but are very safe and beneficial to the growth of plants. They are either planted directly into a larger pot or directly into the ground. They decompose over time, acting as a natural fertilizer for the plant and dispensing nutrients as needed by the plant. The roots grow directly through the plant pot, which improves root strength and also eliminates plant shock.
On your left is a picture of one of our sample Grow Greenly plant pots, and on the right is how a consumer would use the plant pot by planting it into a larger pot or directly into the ground. So in order to ensure that our plant pots could help the plant reach their maximum growth, we conducted several tests using different ratios of the same ingredients. So from these tests, we were able to conclude that ratio 2 was able to maximize plant growth compared to our control group, which was a plant grown directly from a plastic pot into the ground without our pot. And in this graph, you can see Chemical fertilizers provide a lot of nutrients to the plant at first, but the plant does not need all of these at first, which is why there's so much runoff from chemical fertilizers. And organic fertilizers match the natural growth of the plant, just enhancing it without any negative side effects.
So initially, many of our customers were concerned about the transportation aspect of our plant pots. They thought they would break or crumble. So to ensure them that they wouldn't break and that they are strong enough to be transported and delivered from a plant nursery to their home, we worked with the HHMI Genelia Research Campus, and we used their tensile testing equipment, and we found that our plant pots can withstand around 81.5 newtons of force, which means that they're going to be able to be they will be able to be transported easily without any risk of breaking.
So from our MVP testing, we were able to conclude that 92% of our pots were able to hold up under greenhouse conditions. 95% of the people that we talked to said that they were willing to pay more for environmentally friendly products, and 93% of the people, 93% of our pots were able to stay intact while being transported.
So in order to validate all ends of our company, we worked with different experts in our community. We worked with Ms. Stone, who is an environmental engineer in South Riding, and she's very experienced with working with different water treatment facilities. So she helped us validate the prototype design of our plant pot and also helped us gain materials free of charge from different organizations and corporations in our community. We also worked with Mr. Tuckbeam, who helped validate the financial aspect of our company. And we also worked with Ms. Abraham, who is the founder of Lush Life Gardening Designs, and she's helping us gain contacts with different retailers and plant nurseries in our community.
So for market sizing, our TAM is about 30 million, and this is the number of gardeners in America that are using organic fertilizers. For our SAM, we've narrowed it down to a Virginia population that exhibits these same characteristics.
So our company, Grow Greenly, has 3 different main sources of competition. The first comes from cow pots. Cow pots uses cow manure in their plant pots, so their plant pot does naturally fertilize the plant. However, since they utilize cow manure in their plant pot, anything that is grown, such as fruits and vegetables, aren't regulated for distribution. And if you use ours, since we use leaf-based compost, you would be able to sell fruits and vegetables that are grown using our plant pots. Our second source of competition is peat pots. Peat pots are comprised of mainly cardboard material that's recycled, and they benefit the environment by eliminating the plastic plant pots that are used. However, they do not provide any benefit to the plant's growth, which is where we come in. And our third source of competition comes from plastic plant pots, which is the main contributor to the plastic pollution issue that we're trying to fix, and they actually restrict the growth of the plant.
So our cost of goods sold is about 47 cents per unit, which includes 6 pots. This cost comes from aluminum foil, compost, cornstarch, and our biodegradable containers. The water pellets are actually provided to us for free by the Tuscarora Mills Company. And our biodegradable containers are cardboard drink holders that will let us sell 6 pots at once in a set, and they are reusable and recyclable. We are also planning on selling each unit for $6. Our SG&A includes administrative costs such as our LLC filing, our provisional patent, and our copyright, but for year 1, we've already covered our LLC filing and our patent, so we're just asking for the copyright. Our marketing covers our business cards, flyers, and different social media marketing we're going to use, and we also need salaries for 3 employees to help increase our production. And this totals to about $9,000 in our first year.
So we have 2 main different marketing and sales strategies. Primarily when we are targeting and selling directly to nurseries and greenhouses, we are going to use more personalized marketing through direct sales calls and one-on-one meetings, so we can cater our product to each company's specific needs. However, we still plan to sell directly to the gardeners themselves, and we market to them on our active social media accounts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. And we also attend local events such as farmers markets, local plant sales, and home and garden trade shows. We have also gained a lot of publicity in the gardening community through our Loudoun Times, Loudoun Mirror, and Loudoun Tribune article, as well as in the LCPS news community.
So we've also created a website which got 300 visits in the month of June and is currently over 600 visits. And on this website we have a video which explains how a customer would use the product. We also include updates about ourselves and our companies, which got 150 reads just in the first week. And we also have updates about ourselves and upcoming garden and plant shows so our consumers know where to find our plant pots.
So our revenue growth for the first year is about 100,000, and then almost 130,000 our second year, and then almost 200,000 our third year. We're going to be making this by selling directly to consumers, plant nurseries, beautification events, and school clubs.
So for the past year, Grow Greenly has been communicating with different local plant nurseries, and we have developed many verbal orders with these nurseries. We are working with the Watermark Woods and the Great Meadows plant nurseries, and we've already committed verbally with them, and we are going to sell, I think, around 1,000 plant pots with them. We are also after our science fair, we are partnered with the Loudoun Wildlife Conservancy, and we are going to be selling our plant pots at every meeting, and they have monthly meetings, which have over 100 people that are very passionate about gardening, and they've already expressed a lot of interest in our product. And we are also selling around 500 plant pots, and we have committed verbal orders with people in our community. Just this past week, we spent, I think, the entire weekend delivering around 10 units of plant pots to people in our community. So in order to extend the reach of our company, we knew that we had to go out and participate in as many events, competitions, and just plant sales in our area. So we went to the Step It Up Loudoun competition. It's a competition for different teen initiatives in our community, and we were awarded the best environmental group at that event. We also participated in the first annual Loudoun Makerspace event, and we volunteered our time and basically talked about our product. We gave some of our plant pots away for free just so we could gain feedback, and we're now contacting those people to see what we can do to improve our product. And we also went to the Leesburg Native Plant Sale, where we met the Watermark Woods Nursery, and that's how we have formed that connection with them, and we have made that verbal order with them. And they invited us to go to the Herndon Nature Fest, which is in September, that will have over 15,000 attendees. So in order to further the experimentation of our product, we entered the Loudoun County Regional Science and Engineering Fair. We conducted, I think, tests on 45 different plants. We changed the ratios of our plant pot. We added different things in them just to see what would help the plant the most. So we entered this research into the science fair, and we were really looking for advice and expertise from the scientists and the researchers that were there giving out the awards. And we ended up earning 4 special awards from local corporations and companies in our area, and we earned around $600 in prize money, and we're using that prize money towards our company, trying to build up our product base and our market. And we are also now invited to present at the Loudoun Wildlife Conservancy Board. And like I said, they have around 100 people attend each meeting, so we're going to be selling at every meeting.
So in the month of June, Grow Greenly was officially established as an LLC, and we also have a provisional patent, and we're working with the Oblonsvik law firm to obtain an official patent to obtain our product design and intellectual property.
So our required capital to scale up our business is about $19,500, and we are asking for this in exchange of 5% equity in our company. And this money will cover our startup costs, our first year cost of goods sold, and our first year SG&A.
We would like to thank you for your time and attention. We are truly dedicated to our business and hope that you choose to join us on our journey to help save the environment one plant pot at a time.
Ladies, just want to tell you, that was an outstanding presentation. Really well done. I'm impressed with your commitment, your energy, how hard you worked. You did some great market research, and I think it really shows. And the fact that you've actually invented something new. I've never thought about what pots were made of before, to be honest. So my question is, I want to understand more about what is unique about a plant-based pot versus the peat and the cow, because that seems to me where I as a consumer, I'd want to know what the advantage or unique selling proposition is for that. I'd love to see a chart where you show that the growing opportunity is much better in your type of pot compared to peat or a cow-based one versus plastic. I think that would be a strong selling message. So can you talk to me a little bit about that? And secondly, your marketing costs seemed a little low compared to what you probably could use.
So I can talk to you about our competition. So cow pots, as I said, they utilize cow manure in their plant pots. So since they use cow manure, anything that is grown inside those plant pots, if you would like to sell, if you're growing fruit or vegetables in those plant pots, you can't sell it to people because you're not sure, there's really no way to regulate the cow manure. And with peat pots, they're comprised of cardboard, so they really are recycling the materials, but they don't biodegrade the same way ours do, and they also do not benefit the environment. So you still have to use these harmful chemical fertilizers that are running off into our waterways.
reason I'm asking that is your market is the home user. They're typically not selling. So does your market really care about that advantage? That's my question.
So you can't like sell it, but like just the fact that it can't be like regulated means that it's not like technically safe for you to eat either. Like it's not. Yeah,
Also-
like that's why it's not regulated for distribution.
Got it.
I'd like to add something as well. Those recycled water pellets that we use that are sourced from the water treatment plant actually help keep animals away from the plants as well. So we spoke to. Actually, they're actually perfect for deer. We spoke with the gardeners at the Leesburg Native Plant Sale, and all of the people who just use that fertilizer on its own were like really thrilled about the results to keep animals away and from eating their plants.
Really no a comment other than like great idea. I was, as you were going through the presentation, I'm like, there's like this doesn't exist. There's not a patent for this, and you get to the like reveal that actually it's just our way of going at this product. So I guess one recommendation that I had as you were going through is there a way to leverage the business B2B to C, right? Allowing, if I go to Home Depot, I'm getting older in my life, right? So I spend a little bit more time at Home Depot now, and so. If I'm at Home Depot, there are brands or farmers that are selling flowers to me, and I would imagine that you're sourcing their, containers may be a good hit, especially for those fruits and vegetables. Because like I saw strawberries and like whatever at Home Depot. But awesome job, ladies.
Echo what they said. This is outstanding. I think this is exactly what. I think when you run a lean startup or an MVP, you have two outcomes. One, you gain the conviction that you shouldn't proceed, or you gain the conviction that you should. And I think it's quite evident that you should continue doing what you're doing. So great job. Two comments. One is, I like that you're pursuing some of these partnerships with nurseries, but you have a website and you have 600 views. I would have loved to see a buy now button. And even if you can't fulfill the orders, there's no better feeling than when you're staring at your Google Analytics and someone clicks buy now and you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? Right? Like get that feeling, and that continues to give you conviction to proceed. And the second is, if you do start showing sales, or at least intent to sale, your company will be valued a lot more than $100,000 that you put up there. So I would, or 200,000 or whatever number was, I would not float your valuation, show your sales. It'll give you a lot more credibility and leverage when you're negotiating. But great job.
Boy, ditto for all of that. But I'm going to get a little bit into the weeds here. You said that your first year sales were going to be how much?
About 100,000.
And so how many units is that you need to sell?
It's around 20,000 units.
20,000 units. What can you tell us about your confidence in the ability to sell 20,000 units in the next year in order to hit your numbers? Is $19,000 enough? And just a comment on that, most of your SG&A expenses are going to compensation. Can you actually make these yourself and bootstrap it a little bit and take the money and spend it, towards achieving this 20,000 objective?
Yeah, so in addition to the 3 employees we plan on hiring, we are going to be making them ourselves, but the 3 extra people are also just to increase our production so we can meet our desired revenue for year 1. And we're going to be going to a lot of these plant sales, and even though our sales are probably going to be lower during the colder months, we're going to make up for them in the warmer months when there's more plant sales and plant events happening, and hopefully we can make it.
Sorry, I'd also like to add to that, just with the production aspect of our company. Obviously, the 4 of us making thousands of plant pots just within the summer months. We have school still. But in addition to those 3 employees that we're looking at hiring, we are actually starting and founding an environmental club at our new school, which is opening actually next year. It's a brand new magnet school in Virginia. But anyway, by starting that school, we know that there's so many teens in our community that are willing to help and volunteer with us and just kind of help us out with our production, because by doing that, they get volunteer hours in high schools, colleges. They're always looking for that. So teens in the area will want to help. And we're also working with Keep Loud and Beautiful, which is a nonprofit organization in our community. And I attended and sat in on one of their meetings, and I talked to them about our company, and they just showed so much interest. They have so many people that's a part of that organization, and they offered to help us with our production.
Last question.
Great job. First comment, so you guys want to think through You've got a direct-to-consumer model through your website, and then you have a wholesale model where you sell to greenhouses and nurseries. As an investor, I get way more excited about your wholesale business because the amount that you're going to spend to market and sell to them versus the value that you get when they actually buy is much greater. So you want to think through your split of direct-to-consumer and wholesale, or maybe you just start wholesale and eventually go to consumer, or vice versa. So get behind that strategy there. My question to you is, I think that this is a phenomenal idea. Let's imagine that you have so much demand that you need to start to scale your manufacturing. How do you scale beyond just this team to actually produce your product?
So we would like to actually get this into a manufacturer, and that way we're able to produce a lot more a lot quicker, because obviously we don't have enough time to produce these, and so that would drop our costs a little bit, but we're not gonna increase the prices or anything, because plastic pots are one of our competitors, and they're already so low, and not everyone cares about the environment as much as we hope they do. So we wouldn't change our prices.
Yeah, and just to talk a little bit more about manufacturing, I know Azreen sent out hundreds, she spent the entire weekend sending out hundreds of emails to manufacturers in our community that were manufacturing environmentally related products. So I know once we start getting more bulk orders, I think we already have, this one is confirmed, we're selling around 150 plant pots to the Friends of Runnymede Park in September. So I know we're already working on making those. But yeah, I think manufacturing is definitely something we would like to move into, and I know we're already contacting manufacturers to get that done. So.
Thank you very much.